Am I live? It looks like I'm live, but I'm not seeing myself on the camera. There we go. Hi. Why my live stream won't let me do? Yeah, sorry. I am in vertical mode. I tried to start my live stream again in landscape mode, and all of the instructions aren't working. So unfortunately, this it is what it is. It's in vertical mode, and I'm sorry, but allergies. It's windy outside, so my nose is feeling like I've got stuff on my eyes and on my nose. But anyway, sorry about that. Sorry I was late. I was actually messing around a little early with the sound and everything to make sure all that was good. So I'm glad that you can all see me. What I want to do today is answer viewer questions. And I have been realizing a lot lately that, my expectation that people watch every video and not ask questions about things that I've answered a million times in videos might be a little unrealistic, because that's kind of not how YouTube works. So I'm going to answer questions today, even if I've answered them 1,000 million times. And I do have some pre-written questions that I got from audience. I went through comments and got some questions from audience members, but I also asked a lot of you, before when I first scheduled this, I asked many of you if you had questions as well. So I do have some preset questions I'm going to answer, and you never know, I might answer your question. I'm going to give names and everything, so go ahead and stay tuned for that. And I'll also take questions from you guys here live as well. So I'm going to take a few minutes first to say hi to the people who are here live, who are watching this live in real time. Hey, Richard, thank you for being here. So let's all give Richard hugs and well wishes. He was in the hospital with pneumonia, and I know that his breathing is still, you're still struggling with breathing, so you're probably still on bed rest. So let's send Richard all of our healthy vibes and thoughts and all of that. And I did also see Ralph here. So those are our two moderators so far tonight. So thank you very much from your sick bed, Richard. Thank you for being here. You're just always so, you're such a friend of this channel and me. So thank you. And let's say hi to Sadie real quick. I had all the, say hi. Look, who is it? Did you just get some drinks and something to eat? Yeah. All right. So thank you for being here to moderate. I appreciate you. And I'm going to say hi to a few people who are here. So hi, Sally and Sir SRS Mom. Hey, Eric. Good to see you. And Nancy Adirondack Art and Mary Cooper and One More Mile, R Cubed. A lot of names I recognize. Hi, Betty Garcia. I see you. Another patron. Mark Carey, good to see you. Another patron. And Michelle and Ivana and Joanne and Queenie, another patron. And Trisha and Sally and Mary is here. Good to see you. And Kitty Chat, can you tell us what state you're in? Yes. I know. I actually had an interview with a RV trader. Wanted to do a story on me or on solo female travelers, and she said, "Where are you?" And I'm like, "I can't tell you." She's like, "You can't even tell me what state you're in?" Yes, I'm in Nevada. I have spent my entire winter in Nevada, and I'm getting, and not just because I've been in Nevada, but it's the time of year where I am starting to get antsy. Every morning I wake up, I go outside, and I'm like, I just want to go. I have been in 100-mile radius for 5 months. I am ready to go. I'm so ready to go. I have a couple more things I need to take care of. One is my driver's license. My driver's license expires this summer, so I'm going to be going to New York again to spend the summer with my mother. So I need to take care of my driver's license before I go. I have been taking care of all of my health maintenance, all that crap that you need to get done, all the doctor stuff. I still have one more appointment, and I have a story about healthcare in Nevada. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, so I have a few more things to do. Sadie needs one final vet appointment. We need to get her valley fever checked. And so it'll probably be the end of March before I get out of here, but I am ready to go. So, Mark, thanks for asking. My migraines, I haven't had a migraine since that was probably a month. Actually, I think I took a migraine pill. I did take a migraine pill a couple weeks ago, but I felt it coming on. I took a migraine pill and it went away and never came back. Sometimes, I can take a pill and it won't completely go away. I can still feel it, or it will completely go away, but it'll come back later. That's what was happening with that I was having them constantly. But so I think I've only had one since, and it barely, it came on, I took a pill and it went away. So thank you for asking. I have been much, much better. And I do think the wind, I do think the weather has something to do with it. I also think it might be yeast. And anybody who is plant-based knows that nutritional yeast is a big part of our diets, and I haven't been able to eat it. I have been avoiding nutritional yeast, and I've been better. I think a lot of it is weather. So thanks for asking, Mark. Ivana, Intuitive, and Betty, everybody is thank you for asking again, Mark. Hey, Lori from Ohio, letting the days go by. Nice to see you. Hi, Tracy, good to see you. Liz, I would like to have a consolidation with you on advice for solar system. So you can visit, and I think you mean a consultation, probably autocorrect. You can go to my website. So if you don't know, I offer consultations for either RV life, whether it's, you want help with your solar, or you want help buying an RV, or you just want a pep talk. I've done just a lot of kind of moral support, like, can I do it? How do I plan? I've done a lot of those people who are just like, you know what, I just need somebody to tell me that I can do it and to kind of walk me through. So I do consultations. You can book time with me one-on-one. You get a full hour with me one-on-one. Go to my website, carolinsrvlife.com. And I think it's under resources. Yeah, carolinsrvlife.com, actually here. And it's under resources. And, oh, my website's doing something kind of funky right now. What the heck? There we go. My assistant's working on my website. We're making some upgrades and some changes. Yeah, so under resources, coaches and consulting. Yeah, actually, it looks like she might be working on the website. It's a little funky right now. All right. Here, I'm going to put a link. So here's the link if you want to book time with me, book a consultation with me. $95 is all for all of my almost 10 years of knowledge and experience. If you're a subscriber to my channel, I also do consultations if you want to start a YouTube channel. So those are $225 if you want a business consultation. So book time with me. Let's talk one-on-one. All right. Hey, KW in Massachusetts. Karen says it's her 4th month full-time. Spent a bit of time in Nevada. Good for you. How did you like it? Elizabeth is in Maryland. We've got Kitty Chat in Texas. And, oh my gosh, David's in Cabo. We never made it to Cabo. We ran out of time because we do slow travel. That's how we roll, right, Ralph? Slow travel. So we didn't make it to Cabo, but I heard Cabo's kind of crazy. And I think by the time we got like halfway down, or as far as we got, we were kind of like, you know what? We don't really need to go to Cabo. But how is it? I heard it's kind of crazy and busy. Hey, April. I mean Swifty. Hi, Swifty. Dry air is a migraine trigger. It's usually humid where you live. I get just as many in New York. So I don't know what it is. There are ad interruptions on this live stream. Oh boy. Really? YouTube? All right. Hey, Michael, good to see you from Colton, California. Where is that? Like Bakersfield area, maybe? Like Hollister area, maybe? Hey, Lori, in Ohio. Oh, you don't mind? I'm sorry. I feel like I doxed you, April. You go by A online, and I'm really careful to not. And I wasn't very careful in that instance. I said your name, so I'm glad that you're okay. Near San Bernardino. Oh, okay. All right. Canadians from White Sand. Oh, and you're in White Sand, New Mexico. Gorgeous area. Virginia. 19 degrees in PA. Ugh, and it snowed today. My mother texted me at 7 o'clock this morning, my time, and said it was 9 degrees. 9 degrees. There's part of me that is like thinking it would be nice to spend a winter there, and then I've been looking at the temperatures. I mean, there have been below zero. It's been miserable. It has been a really cold winter in New York. Like, teens, the high temperature during the day in the teens, and I think it's been colder than usual. So I'm assuming PA is the same way. Hi, Cheryl from BC. So Vliff doesn't have any ads. I'm not getting any ads. Okay. Paula, considering you are getting your driver's license, did you watch the video? Okay. No. Okay. No. I don't want to talk shit about other people, but I have seen a couple of their videos and they are full of misinformation. I mean, the misinformation and the disinformation coming out of those videos and the fear mongering that I have seen, I would prefer, be careful who you listen to, including me. And I tell people this all the time, even in my other channel. I've made a couple mistakes the past couple of days. In case you don't know, I have a political channel called As I See It. And I've made a couple mistakes on that channel recently. My head I'm all over the place right now. And I highly recommend fact checking everything. And just be careful about what you're consuming and especially what you're sharing. That channel is so full of conspiracy theories. So yeah. So here's my As I See It channel. Hey Sarah, good to see you. Hanging with friends in Phoenix, but wanted to pop in and say hi. Well, thank you. Good to see you. Hello in Orlando and Dee Dee in Chicago. Low temps are miserable in a house. RVs are probably intolerable. My only concern, there's no way I could stay warm in teens on a regular basis. There's no way. I don't think I could stay warm. I'd have to winterize the RV. I wouldn't be able to use my pipes. I'd have to winterize, which my RV is not winterized at all. But even if I winterized, I don't know that I would be able to use. I don't know. That might be something to look into. Yeah, no. I can't imagine days and days and days of teens during the day and negatives overnight. I don't think it would be miserable. It would be hell. And I like to spend so much time outside. It just doesn't even sound like fun. Annette, hey, good to see you. Thank you for the super chat and my dose of honesty. I don't know how to be anything else. So thank you. Violet and Content at Content Boutique is snowing. We just bought a Blue Eddy. Any info we might need to know? They're pretty straightforward and self-explanatory. Thank you for, I hope you bought it through my link. If not, but anyway, they're a great company. It's a great product. So I think you're going to be happy with it. So Jeanette Freeman, watching from New Mexico, wants to know how far I usually walk with Sadie daily. So I walk about 3 miles a day. At least. It kind of depends. But I think I average about 3 miles a day. I went on a 5.5 mile hike a couple days ago. So yeah, I don't track. I go for several walks. I usually go out for coffee. My first cup of coffee, I go out and I wander around. That might be a half mile, it might be a mile, and then I come in and do some things and then go back out for my longer walk, and that's 2 to 3 miles, sometimes 4. If I had to guess, and again, I don't track it. I try not to carry my phone. In fact, that 5.5 mile hike, I did not want to take my phone. It was the economic blackout day, but I did take my phone so that I could track it. And shit happened in this country with political stuff that I won't get into here, and my phone blew up and it ruined my walk. So, and I'm sorry to my friend if you're watching. You didn't ruin my walk, but it kind of did. And am I blushing? But actually I bought a Fitbit so that I don't have to have that problem anymore, and I'm waiting for it to come because I would like to know how much I'm really walking. And another thing that I have been trying to be more conscious of is getting aerobic exercise. I'm realizing all these walks that I'm doing, I wasn't getting my heart rate up, so I am trying to be more conscious about my health. You know, I'm not getting any younger, and getting my heart rate up. And so that's something I've been working on too, is I walk about 3 miles an hour, but that doesn't give me aerobic exercise. My heart rate doesn't get up at 3 miles an hour. I have to get closer to 4 miles an hour for my heart rate to get up, and that's just really hard to track on a phone. So I bought a Fitbit, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, so you have a 2004 Itasca Spirit D-Eng, recently remodeled, and I don't know where to go first and what direction. Well, I'd be happy to meet with you, so go ahead and check out the link on my website and we can talk about whatever you want. And mine's a 2005, so I love my Itasca Spirit. I love this RV. Need inclines? I don't know what that means. Sadie, I showed Sadie earlier. She moved up to the front now. She's up in the front. Hello, Rick Gypsy. I recognize you, Southern Illinois. And thank you, Daisy May. I'm glad you enjoy my videos. I like making them. And all of this not traveling so much in the past 5 months, is kind of cutting down on the content that I have. I'm not really anyplace interesting right now, so that's part of the reason I'm doing the live stream tonight. I have one video of some cool content and a trail that I hiked, and I saw some really cool rock climbing jeeps and stuff like that. So I have that for you next week. But oh, R-Cube, you love your Fitbit. Hope you enjoy it. I only really use it for mileage, but will also buzz to sit too long. Yeah, I've always been like anti-Fitbit because I'm like, I don't need something tracking my movement all the time. Not even thinking, just I don't have to wear it all the time. I mean, you can, but I want to wear it on my hikes to start tracking my heart rate and to start tracking my mileage. But it'll help me be more conscious about getting my heart rate up. So what I'm finding now, just with my phone, is that about a 17-minute mile gets my heart rate where it needs to be. A 17-minute mile instead of a 20-minute mile. So that's not bad. So, wow, you guys have a lot of questions. Awesome. Okay, let me make sure I'm not missing anything. Prescott. Hi, Outdoor Gypsy in Prescott. I know, I learned everything I know about RV from watching your channel. Oh, that is awesome. I love that. I'm so glad that I have been able to help you and impart my wisdom and impart my cautionary tales. A lot of what not to do, right? Hey, Betty Dotson, sending lots of love from New Orleans. Hey, Nolans in the house. All right. I get a step counter on your phone. Yeah, I know. That's what I said. I have a walking app on my phone, but I don't want to carry my phone, especially because my new phone, which I'm on now, is bigger than my old phone. And plus with my Gorilla case, I don't want to carry it, and it doesn't really fit in the pocket of my leggings as well. Betty, I love your freedom in videos. Do you have any hobbies that you work when you have downtime? I don't. And except being addicted to the internet. And I'm desperately want to break that. I'm starting to write more. I picked up my memoir again recently, started working on that again. I've been journaling. So I think hiking and walking and playing with Sadie, I guess you could call those hobbies. And I like to cook. I spend time cooking myself, healthy whole food meals. So I guess those are hobbies. I like to bake. I do bake, and I keep thinking, I don't think I've ever shown you some of the things I bake. I'll do that pretty soon. I made these delicious tofu pudding cups the other day. They were so good. And I'm like, why don't I show this stuff? Because, yeah, I won't go there, but yeah. So I like to bake and cook. All right. How we doing? Let me see. Yes. Wait a minute. Where are we? I like the app on the phone. Yeah. Map My Walk is a good one. I thank you, Cheryl. You said I seem healthier and happier. I have been kind of interesting, intuitively, without even doing things on purpose, just kind of like intuitively taking steps to take better care of myself since the election, actually, with the journaling, trying to get more exercise, really paying attention to my diet. I kind of had let things slide. When I first became vegan, I was extremely careful about my diet to make sure I got all of the vitamins and minerals and things like that I needed, making sure I was getting all the proper food groups. And that really has slid over the years. And I've just gotten really kind of, I don't want to say lazy, just mindless about what I eat. So I'm trying to be more mindful about what I eat, making sure my diet is giving me everything, the energy and the focus and the vitamins and the nutrients that I need. And so thank you. And the journaling, I've just been kind of like not on purpose, just incorporating all these things into my life to help me get through what we're going through. Because if we don't take care of ourselves, then what, right? I am still working on my cookbook. In fact, my assistant the other day, we were we were talking back and forth, and I mentioned it, and she's like, "Oh yeah, let me see where we are on that." Boy, and also, yeah, there are some behind the scenes things going on there. I had planned on selling it on Amazon. I don't think I will. I think I'm gonna find another way to sell it, and there's a lot. I don't sew. No, I don't sew. Oh, thank you, letting the days go by. I look amazing. Thank you. All right. Self-care is critical. Thoughts on buying land considering the climate now? No. I don't know. I don't know if it's a good idea to have a place to land or not. Part of me thinks that having land would give. Okay, here is what I think. I think I'm afraid that our days as being nomads, the way I have been living, are numbered. I don't know that I see this being sustainable under the current climate of this country. I think that part of me thinks every nomad should have land, a place to fall, a place to hide, a place to go. But then there's also a part of me that thinks land then is also going to tether you to this country at a time when maybe you need to go. The fact is, we are living in extremely uncertain times for the first time as Americans, where we are having to consider things like, am I going to need to cut and bail? Am I going to need to hide? Am I going to need to leave the country? And I know there are certain groups, demographics in this country who are very fearful for their safety and their lives. And, you know, even as a woman, I'm afraid, if I buy property, will I be stripped of my property? Will I be stripped of my property? If I decide to buy land, are they going to take it away from me because I'm a woman? You know, Project 2025, and I didn't want to get too political in this video. I wanted to keep it about RV life, but Project 2025 is some scary shit. And we are seeing that getting implemented every day. So I think if you're a white man, yeah, go ahead and buy land. I think everybody else, while the idea of having a safe place to land is nice, I don't know if that's old America, right? That's old America. Buy property and you always have a safe place to go. I don't know what new America is going to look like. So I really can't answer that question. Hey, Jay. All right, what are my weird ideas, Jay? Sorry, see? Stupid phone. Jay says I have some weird ideas. So, you know what? If you're going to say something like that, back it up. What's weird about what I'm saying? Sorry, people. All right. Boy, oh boy. You can't just come here and say I'm stupid or I'm weird without backing it up. And people never back it up. All right. Boy. Oh, I got all excited. I want to know what my weird ideas are. Annette, give them hell. Very relevant, but very heavy. Oh, Smooth Skater too. Thank you, Smooth Skater. Update, yes, everybody update your passport. Luckily, I updated mine last year before we went to Baja. Everybody needs to update their passport, especially women, and especially married women, or like me, you know, my name is not my maiden name. My name is not the name on my birth certificate. So if you have been married and your name does not match what's on your birth certificate, get a passport now, or you may not be able to vote in the future. If you're not, that's right, Smooth Skater. If you're not a straight white man, you need to have a Dawn. You need to have a plan, exactly. And Dawn says, be the number you need to be. Odd one. That's right. My weird is awesome. Oh, thank you. You know, it's so funny that this is coming up because I was just thinking about that. I don't know what, last night. All my life I've been weird. I have been odd. You know, I haven't fit into the grain. I've always just been a little different for whatever reason. And for the first time in my life, I understand what makes me so different, and I like it. I mean, this is what makes me different. You know, just everything about me, and I love it, and I think it's great. So thank you, and I'm glad you guys think it's great too. Portugal D7 visa ending messed up my plans to escape. Dawn says, in her opinion, having an anchor is an age thing. At some point, I'd like to be close to an elderly home. To live in my camper and use the features would be nice for now. Yeah. And like I said, in old America, where having a piece of land guaranteed something, some form of being settled and some form of safety, absolutely that makes sense. But I'm not taking anything for granted in this new America. I'm taking nothing for granted. So Mexico would be cool. I was actually looking at Ecuador. My friend called me the other night. She's like, hey, what's going on? And I'm like, I'm just looking for property for sale in Ecuador. Ecuador is very American friendly, and I could drive there. That is a huge consideration for me, considering I have Sadie, and also considering this is my home. And yeah, it would be nice if I could drive somewhere, buy land, and live in this. And so I was looking at Ecuador. So if you're interested in moving, check out Ecuador. Trisha's been very worried about it. Michelle says you're right. Yeah. All right, looking at property in Panama. Rich Evans is in Mexico. And yep. I know, right? Annette says none of her friends are normal. Normal is boring. Right? Right? All right. Oh, hey Sally, thank you for the super chat. My mom used to say Sally was always different. I like that. Sally's just always a little different. Yeah. Property rights is just another right that can be taken away. Touche. Absolutely touche. Right, Ralph? And also, if you don't pay your property taxes, and I've been seeing a lot of people say that people over 65 shouldn't have to pay property taxes anymore, because the same thing happens. You know, you have a piece of property and all of a sudden you can't pay the taxes on that property, and it can get seized. They can just take it away from you. So yeah, of course, if they do take it away from you, and I don't think a lot of people realize this, if they take that property away from you, they'll probably sell it at auction, and then they'll take the money that you owe them out of that and then send you the rest. So they don't really steal it. There's this, I looked it up. People think, oh, you steal, they steal your property if you can't pay your taxes. Well, if they get more for your property than you owe, then you get a check. So they don't really steal it, unless you don't get any money if the taxes aren't covered. But the taxes are going to be covered because they're, yeah. Anyway, yeah. What is my favorite dish to cook? Daisy May wants to know. Hey, Melissa, good to see you. I hope you're doing well. I see that you've been in and out of the hospital for various things. Knees, necks, shoulders, arms. Do you have any limbs left? Do you have any limbs left that have not been broken? Vulnerability is an asset. Thank you, Smooth Skater. Leanne, thankfully you kept your maiden name. You know, I was one of those feminists who wanted to keep my maiden name, but I didn't. My maiden name is my father's name, who is, you know, a disgusting, horrible, rotten, disgusting, despicable, gross psychopath. And so I didn't want to keep his name. You know, yeah. Yeah. And when I got divorced, I thought about changing my name to something else. I was like, okay, I can just go get whatever name I want. But at the time, his family was my family. So his family kind of rallied around me and said, no, you're one of us. You don't need to change your name. You're one of us. So I kept the name because I do feel very close still to them. My favorite dish to cook. I don't have I don't really have a favorite dish. I mean, yeah, I really don't have a favorite thing. I like mostly Mexican. I cook a lot of Mexican, you know, a lot of Mexican flavors, beans and rice and salsa and avocado and cilantro and chipotle. So I guess that would be the closest thing. Yeah. I don't think you need a real ID and a passport. Does anybody have any other information on that? But it seems redundant to have a real ID and a passport. Teresa Fleming, I hear you. We have the same thoughts. I had to go through all those papers to renew your driver's license. Weird beard. Being weird is a beautiful thing. Weird is wonderful. All right. $10. Oh, thank you, Smooth Skater. One day we'll meet again. Now I'm back full time. Oh, you're back full timing. And you're going to love me. One day we'll meet again now that I'm back, and you're going to love me. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Are you proposing? I don't know. I don't know where that came from. Edgar Chavez, greetings from Puerto Vallarta. Woohoo! Hola, ¿cómo está? All right. Real-time healing from narcissistic abuse. Oh my gosh. So the current, I watch a lot of videos about narcissism. I've dealt with narcissists in my life, and also quite recently. Long story, but anyway, so I do watch a lot of narcissist videos, and this must be very triggering for you. It must be extremely triggering for you, and I'm sorry, but anyway, hi. You have a back injury, and want to know, but okay, have a back injury, but want to do what you are doing. Do you know any RVers who are in my position, and how are they faring? I do, actually. Edie and Cindy, I don't think they're here. It's challenging, and I guess it also kind of depends on your injury. It's challenging. I don't know why it wouldn't be doable. You might have to make some accommodations in your RV. I think anybody who is dealing with disabilities would probably have to, I mean, there's nothing ergonomically correct about anything in my RV. Well, I changed it too, but especially how I work and things like that. It's another reason I'm trying to be more aware of my body and stretch and move more, like, yeah. So I think you would have to probably make some changes in the RV just to make sure you're not causing any more damage and you're not in pain. You might need to build a ramp to get in and out of the RV. And depending on the RV, you would probably have to get something bigger to make getting in and out of bed easier. I can imagine you wouldn't be able to do the corner bed like I have. That's hard for me to get out of. I mean, talk about core strength, just getting out of bed in the morning. But yeah, I don't see why you couldn't do it. And I don't know specifically about people with back injuries other than Cindy. And, they don't do a lot of boondocking, and she has to be close for doctor's appointments and things like that, but she does it. So it is doable, but I do think that it's definitely a consideration for your comfort and your well-being and your health. All right. Hi, Rebuilding Dreams. Hi, Timmy Barnes. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for being here. I need to hit the road and buy an RV. Simplicity is best. Eric is a troll, trolling on women. Okay, let's find him. Have we found him yet? Is he the guy who called me weird? Oh, there he is. Where did he go? Oh, okay. I am going to... He's gone. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. He's gone. Bye-bye. We don't do scammer trolls on my channel. Hey, Cynthia Polak. Good to see... Polak. Music, movies, and media. What is a good year model and what price for an RV? Are you serious? Okay. Are you listening? A 2024 Itasca Spirit 36 foot for $114,000. You have to buy that. I just pulled that out of my ass because I'm sorry, but that is a very specific question. And considering I am neither in the market for an RV nor am I an RV expert, I can't answer that question. All right. There is a bed rail that fits under your mattress. It helps get out of bed. Oh, that's good to know. How many solar panels do I use? Hey, Ken. from Massachusetts, 17 degrees. Lovely. It is 56 degrees here right now and very windy. All right, somebody asked me a question. Solar panels. I have 260 watts of solar on my roof that keeps my batteries charged in the summer all day. 260 is plenty in the summer. I now carry a 200 watt Bluetti solar panel that I use in the winter, that I plug into my plug and play that I had installed with my solar outside. And the reason I did that instead of putting it on the roof is because in the winter, I like to be able to tilt it. I tilt it east in the morning so that before I get up, my batteries are already starting to charge, because it doesn't hit my roof in the dead of winter until 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Maybe I might get a little. And then I tilt it at sunset at night so that I'm also getting a little bit at night. I have a lot of solar right now because Bluetti is a sponsor of my channel, so I get a lot of free stuff. I'm also carrying a 350 watt solar panel that I use to charge my Bluetti. And so I put that out, especially this time of year. I can put my Bluetti out in the morning if it's not windy. Today was hell. I didn't get a lot of solar power today. So the 350 watt solar panel charges my Bluetti, and right now I'm carrying the Bluetti Elite 200 version 2. All right. All right. Hi, Karen from Gettysburg. You're welcome, Real-Time Healing. And Rebuilding Dreams, as I watched your video on your solar and was wondering how much you have. I believe in that video about my solar, I said how much I have, probably. I've had 260 watts on my roof since I bought this RV. I went immediately and got the solar installed, and I've had 260 on the roof. And honestly, the 260, I wouldn't even need the extra 200 in the winter if I didn't work, frankly. If I didn't need all of the electronics and all of the things that I now have to run my life and my internet and everything, I wouldn't need the extra. Everybody makes the mistake of going out and putting 1,000 watts of solar on their roof. And it's, I mean, unless you want to run your microwave and run your air conditioning, you don't need all that. 260 watts is all I need. You meant how many? I have a 100 watt panel, one 160 watt panel, one 200 watt, and one 350 watt. So that would be 4. So Ralph wants to know how Sadie's doing away from Valley Fever zone. So there is Valley Fever in Nevada too, all of the Southwest. I don't know if it's as bad here, but she did see her vet as soon as we got here and decided to keep her on the fluconazole. No. Yeah, she's on fluconazole. I'm on sumatriptan. Yeah. Keep her on the fluconazole. So she's digging full covered snout, dirt up her nostrils. I mean, yeah, so it's definitely here too. I don't know if it's worse I don't know to what extent it is here, but she is still on her Valley Fever medicine. And in the next couple weeks before I'm ready to take off, we'll get her titers, her Valley Fever titers tested again to see how much longer she needs to be on it. She's been on it like 2 years now. So, of course she doesn't need it in New York. Once we leave here, if she's clear, I'll probably take her off it, but you get to see her soon. She's excited about seeing her Uncle Ralph. Look at. Where's Uncle Ralph? Is he? Did you see that, Ralph? Oh my gosh. All right. Did I get my AC repaired? No. So I'm not going to worry about it. I don't know that it's broken. I probably should test it, but I don't need it, right? I don't need it. There is a mobile mechanic where I'm going in New York. So I think if I'm going to get it fixed, I think I'll do it there. And I also got I also got a request for a sponsorship for an air conditioner, a brand new air conditioner that I would have to install, but it's a free air conditioner and paid to promote it. So I told them to check back with me this summer when I can install it at my mom's house. So I might just do that. How long have I been living in an RV? April 1st will be 9 years. I know, Melissa. Melissa says she wishes Sadie would have seen Tyrion and Simha. She's ready for Uncle Ralph to go on walksies. Yeah. When do I foresee having to get a new RV? I get this question so much. I'll know when I know. We have 160,000 miles and we're still running strong. Have you seen any strange things lately? Sasquatch or aliens? No, I haven't. Nancy says, I've been watching your channel forever, but I forget if you've ever had any close encounters with wildlife. Have you ever been close to a bear? Oh yeah, lots of bears. Yeah. Lots of bears. We had that bear right outside the RV in Colorado a couple years ago. We were in bed and it was just sitting there right outside the RV and just kind of taunting Sadie. And then I had to hang my food. Remember that video? I had to hang my food, or not my food. I had to hang my garbage in a tree. I don't know that I filmed this. Another place in Colorado, we saw bear cubs coming down a tree. I heard a noise. I mean, it was 20 feet away. Sadie's out running around and I hear something weird and I look up and there's 3 bear cubs coming down a tree and I heard something moving around in the bushes literally right next to me. I thought it was Sadie, but Sadie came out of the bushes up ahead of me. So there was that. Moose in Alaska, not too close though. And the grizzly bears in Alaska. Remember the grizzly bear on my hike in Alaska? Scared the living shit out of me. It was so far away, but it was a grizzly with her cubs. And I mean, it was like a couple football fields away. And yeah, remember that? Let me see. What other wildlife have I seen? I think I saw a mountain lion in Colorado a couple years ago. Just saw the tail above us on a ledge when we were walking. I just saw the tail. I guess I saw the body. It was so fast, but I really remember seeing the tail. Let me see, what else? Coyotes, lots of coyotes. A rattlesnake here in Nevada. Sadie was a baby. The Sidewinder came into camp. That's the only rattlesnake I have ever seen. And I ended up running over it by mistake. I was actually thinking about that yesterday. And I was thinking, I totally ran over it by mistake because it went under my RV. And I didn't see it. I didn't know where it went. And I just rushed Sadie inside. And I was like, what should I do? And I decided I needed to change camps. I actually called Sue-Ann, from Howa. And she's like, you probably want to leave camp. So I just was like, okay, I'm just going to leave camp. And I ended up backing up over it and killing it. And I was thinking about that yesterday. And it's probably a good thing I did because it could have come up inside my RV. Let me see. Have any of you? Well, and I thought I saw Sasquatch in Alaska. I still think I saw Bigfoot in Alaska. All right. I love your humor, political views, and your authenticity. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I haven't had a mouse in years. But I spray my RV. I mean, they're outside. I see them. Sadie chases them and eats them. But I spray my openings with peppermint oil at least twice a year. And I haven't had a mouse in years. Ever since I started doing and if I do see, like, if I was in that spot up in Tonopah and it was an established camping spot, boondocking spot, and I saw evidence of mice, and I was like, I'm gonna get mice in my RV if I don't do something. So I'll spray around my tires, and I'll spray my opening where my electrical out, my cord that plugs into shore power. I'll spray around there, and I haven't had a mouse in years. I had one like a couple years ago. One, I caught it, and that was it. Yeah, peppermint oil is really great for keeping them away. Alaska was awesome. Have you ever been to the rock in Joshua Tree that the guy lived and blew himself at? No. I don't know. Yeah, April remembers the snake under my rig. Yeah, I really did not mean to. I got a lot of shit for running it over. A lot of people said I did it on purpose, and I was like, here's the thing. It went under my rig, and it's not like I got down on my hands and knees to see where it went. I mean, Sadie was a baby, and it went under my rig, and I had no idea where under my rig it was. And I wasn't going to stick around and wait for it to come out and show me. And I don't remember how I found out I ran over it, though. I think I might have been on blocks, because I backed up and got out. I must have been on blocks, and maybe I got out to pick up the blocks and saw that I had run it over. Hi, TD. Good to see you. Thought had a bear cub out near my car. Had just become dark. Turned out to be a huge badger. Oh my gosh. Oh wow. Do I have any bear spray or a pew pew? No, I don't. A few summers ago, we rented a log cabin on Sasquatch Mountain and didn't have an encounter. Oh, that's disappointing. If you have to decide to move into a house, where would you want to live? I would never move into a traditional house. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have an answer to that question. I would do a homestead or an off-grid something, and I don't know where I would do it. Would my mom ever want to travel with me to Alaska, or does she have a bucket list place? My mom is not at a point in her life where she can travel. She's 76, and 76. God, she'll be 77 this year, and her health isn't that great. So we're gonna maybe do a trip, a little couple-day trip this summer. So let me see. I have been with you since Matilda. Oh wow, Moon Dove. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Could you put a tiny home on your mom's land to be close to her? It's not my mom's land. It's a long story. Probably not. Let's just say that. My mom has a partner. She doesn't live alone, and she lives. Yeah, it's not her property. All right. I love the As I See It. Well, thank you, Real Time. All right, let me answer a couple questions from earlier since I wrote them down and all. So let me just take a break. Shabby Chic Vintage wants to know, what is my favorite place in the U.S. and to go in the camper? I don't know. Everywhere. I really have not been able to. There's still a lot of Wyoming, Montana, Washington. There's still a lot I would like to explore that I didn't really get a chance to explore since I started going back every year to see my mom. So, I mean, I love the West. I love Wyoming, Montana, states like that. And yeah, so maybe that. I mean, I love the Southwest. I've been loving Nevada. There's so much boondocking, and I'm able to find quite a bit of solitude, which has been really nice. So there's that. Donna Cundy wants to know, do I think a composting toilet would work well in the RV? And then she said, oh, I saw your video about the review, so how do you like it? So I did do a review of a composting toilet. And yes, it's great for an RV. Edie and Cindy put one in their RV. They absolutely love it. You know, it's super easy to take out your old toilet, put in a composting toilet, and then you never have to worry about emptying your black tank again. A lot of people do it and they absolutely love it. I did not install. I tested it. I wanted to see what it was all about. So I tested it. I used it to see how it works, the composting toilet. And I actually put it in storage so that when I do buy land and when I do start my homestead, I'm going to use it then. And if anything ever happens to my toilet or my black tank, I will install it in my RV. So no, I have not used it on a consistent basis, but plenty of people take out their regular toilets in their RV and use composting toilets. Oregon and Washington coast are fun to explore. Yeah, they're pretty well, no, you know what? Yes. I was gonna say they're pretty crowded, but I'm thinking of California. Those are definitely, and Vancouver Island. Ralph did Vancouver Island his first year out. I would love to do all that. Oh, I am actually going to the Bay Area next May. I will be in California. I will come back to California. I have a wedding to attend next May. So I'm going to be spending some time in California next year. And I'm excited about it. I have not been back. I haven't been in California in a very long time. So I'm going to go to California and I get to see some people and go to a wedding. It'll be fun. PR. You're awesome. I've been following you since day one from Philly. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for the kind words. That's very nice. Tracy, we rent the land in a smaller mobile home park and live in a single wide in upstate New York. Maybe this could be a possibility for you. A mobile home park with neighbors that I can see? Have we met? I mean, do you watch me? That sounds like hell. All right. Val's in a van says, I got in my van with hip and back arthritis last April. It's doable, but challenging. It's hard to leave a spot you really enjoy. Yes, it is. But usually that, well, yes, there have been a few spots that I have actually maxed out. I was there 2 weeks and I was like, I really don't want to go. Yeah, there have definitely been a few of those spots. But it's like, shit, it's time to move on. I think more of that happens, though, when I don't have a full 2 weeks and I'm like, oh my God, this spot is awesome. Why do I have to get back on the road or whatever? So there have definitely been some of those spots. You've made your RV a home, just rebuild it. I don't know what that means. What length do you recommend for one person and 2 dogs? Whatever works for you. I mean, I can't answer that question for you. It depends on where you want to go. Are you going to boondock? Are you going to stay in an RV park? Do you work inside your RV? How big are your dogs? How much space do they need? How comfortable will you be in a small space versus a big space? How much stuff are you going to bring with you? So there are a lot of variables, so I can't answer that question for you. How has living in the RV helped with healing your mental health? Before my injury, I was very outdoorsy. My mental health, I haven't talked about this in a really long time. If my mental health wasn't already well on the way to being healed from my trauma, I would not have been able to do this. So I was, I don't know, 7 years, 8 years into therapy before, and good therapy, hardcore therapy, before I ever even considered hitting the road. My big healing process for me was hiking the John Muir Trail. That was really kind of the catalyst to healing and finding my true self. And then RV life was an extension, what was an expression of me living my authentic self after I had done a lot of the work. I continue to do the work. I'm still in therapy. Someone who's been through the types of trauma I have been through. It's not a one-time deal, as you know. It's an ongoing process. So I continue to work on my mental health. Being on the road alone, working on the road alone, and dealing with a lot of the things that I've dealt with has its own mental health challenges. So it's just something that I continue to work on. And I don't know if RV has contributed. I don't look at it that way. I don't look at RV life as helping me deal with stuff. I already dealt with the stuff. I mean, I'm always dealing with the stuff, but I had really already done the heavy lifting. And RV life is really just the result of all the work that I did. Because again, if I was still drunk, if I was still doing drugs, if I was still in that process of trying to heal or trying to figure out what was wrong with me, I would have sabotage. There's no way I could have lived this way at any other point in my life than exactly when I did it. So I hope that answers your question. Hey, Don, good to see you. Member for 35 months. My goodness. And a patron. It's good to see you. Letting the days go by. Thank you. Admire the courageous work. Thank you. I didn't have a choice. Well, no, I guess I did, but I'm sorry, that might be downplaying it. But I've always had something in me, gosh, even when I was young, that just felt like there had to be something more for me. And that had led me toward a path of healing and self-exploration and wanting to get questions answered. And that, and I've talked about this a couple of times, when I finally got the big questions answered, it was hard, knocked me to my knees, and I almost didn't come back, but I did. So thank you. Hi, Susan Stricker. Thank you. I know it's really hard. No, I do not have any children by choice. Being your own boss has to help. Oh my God. I can't even imagine. There are days where I'm like, I want to quit YouTube. I don't want to be on YouTube anymore because it's hard. And, and I think I'm just going to get a job. I'll just go work for somebody else. I'm not going to own my own business anymore because I've been self-employed. I was self-employed 7 years before I hit the road. I had a marketing consulting practice. So I have been working for myself since 2009. And it's hard. It's a lot of work. Being self-employed is a lot of freaking work. And I'm like, I'm just going to go work for somebody else and get a different job, or just get a job instead of running a business. But I can't imagine working for somebody else. So I'm going back to New York. I'm leaving soon. Hey, Anne-Marie from Massachusetts, keeping you, doing you, living free. I love my Live More Fearless hat. Yay! Walk in peace. I'm so glad you love that hat. I love that. It's one of my favorites too, so I'm glad you love yours. Ralph, no bosses on YouTube. Have you read the comments? My point exactly. They think they're my bosses. Exactly. They're not. Yeah. Don't even get me started. That's campfire talk. Rebuilding dreams. I did that during COVID. I just quit and went back to being self-employed. Yeah. I mean, there's that saying, right? That being self-employed is so liberating because you get to choose what 80 hours a week you want to work or something like that, right? I mean, you never work harder for anybody than you work for yourself. It's a lot of freaking work. And it's not unlike a job that where you're working for somebody else. You can't just leave it. You can't, you can't turn it off. It's really hard to turn it off. Even when I'm on my walks, my brain is going, ideas and things I need to do. And a lot of my creativity and ideas come from when I'm walking. You being self-employed, you just never turn it off. If nothing else, nomad living has taught that you were stronger than you probably thought or were told you were. Not really. I mean, I hiked 256 miles alone on the John Muir Trail before I hit the road. I pretty much raised myself. I have been too strong, too grown up my whole life. I've always taken care of myself and always, also kind of had a brother to take care of. So I have been self-reliant my whole life. Pretty much my whole freaking life. I had to take care of myself because there wasn't anybody else to take care of me. So I didn't get strong being on the road. I was already strong and I was already able to take care of myself and everything. That's why I have been so successful at it. And that's why even, not only living in an RV, but running a business, I have been successful at both because I was already completely, I'm a little too independent, to be honest with you. And I think that's something now that my therapist is kind of lamenting that, that I live this life. And now the struggle for me is allowing people in and allowing myself vulnerability on a personal level. So yeah, there's a lot there. Self-reliance is good to a certain extent, but there comes a time where you also have to depend on people. My therapist keeps telling me you need people, blah, blah. I keep telling her I'm more evolved than the average person and I don't need people. I don't need community. And she disagrees with me. So, I mean, I have made friends on the road. You guys have all seen that. I went to Mexico, definitely have friends here. Yeah, Melissa, raising yourself sucks. It does. It does. And it teaches you how to be, there's a word for it, toxic, and there's a word, hyper strong, like independent. And that's not good either. Most of us Gen X raised ourselves. Yeah. Pretty sure that's most of my childhood trauma. Yeah. Yep. Yep. All right, let me answer another question from earlier. Patricia, Central Florida. Do I have a TV? And do I watch TV? I do not have a television. I stream everything on my laptop. So I do watch TV, but I stream everything, Hulu, Netflix, HBO Max. And, I used to switch on and off between them when I watch everything on Netflix, then I watch Hulu. What are you guys watching? You guys watching anything good? So I watched, what's the one? Oh my gosh, I love this actor. He was in One of Us. No, he was in, oh my gosh, what's the show? The show about this new show that's on TV about the world ending and the president and his people all go live in a community in a mountain. What's Paradise? Yeah, what's the name of that? What was the show? Was it One of Us that actor? I love him in this. He is so good. Paradise. Anybody watching it? It's pretty good, isn't it? Have I read Jen Romolini's Ambition Monster? It's a really good story tying childhood trauma to workaholic behavior. It's really good. Check it out. Yeah, maybe I will. It sounds like something I need. Yep. Childhood trauma to workaholic behavior. I can relate. Yeah. I need MGM. Is MGM something I can stream and watch from? Okay. Hey, Cindy Shepard. I'll check that out, Melissa. Cindy Shepard just got here and not sure if it's been asked, but do you get lonely? And do I schedule hookups? Oh my goodness. I do not get lonely. Like ever. Ever. I'm trying. I mean, maybe sometimes I don't get lonely. I love being alone. I do. And do I ever schedule hookups? That is personal. You know what? I'm gonna. No, I'm not. There are things about me you don't know. There are things about me that I don't make videos about. Let's just leave it at that. So, all right. Paradise is so good. Yeah, does anybody know the name of that actor? What's the name? End of Us? No, not End of Us. The season of Survivor. Oh, I haven't watched Survivor in a really long time. How can you be lonely with Sadie? I know, exactly. Exactly. Oh, Matlock. Really? Is it good? You say she kicks butt. I feel like I tried to watch like the first episode and I was like, nah, I can't. You know what else I'm watching right now that I have never watched? I know it's like a cult favorite now, but I've been watching Golden Girls. I know even my so I did have a stepdaughter. When I was married, he had 2 kids and I helped raise them, but once we got divorced, we never saw each other anymore. Sadly. Long story. But my back then my stepdaughter, she was like 14 and she was watching Golden Girls and I never watched it, but I'm starting to watch it. I kind of like it. I know, right, Mary? It is really good. It is really good. I mean, it's a little dated. The episode I watched last night, they were slut shaming. And I'm like, you shouldn't be slut shaming, you know, but it was 1985. But Sterling K. Brown. Is that his name? Let me look it up really quick. Sterling K. Yes, that's his name. Oh my God, isn't he brilliant? And what was the show he was in before? The one about the family. He was adopted. This Is Us. Yeah, This Is Us. I used to watch that, but I'm blown away by his acting skills in I mean, This Is Us. I guess everybody was good in This Is Us, but it was kind of like an hour long, kind of cheesy, and I just love him in this. All right. I lost you guys. Where did you go? I lost my chat. Okay, it's over. I can't find you guys. Literally, I lost my chat. Okay, let's see. There you are. Oh, Betty White. Oh my God, she's brilliant. She's so good. The Fifth Estate did a show on Project 2050. I haven't seen it yet, but they always do good detective work. Okay, good to know. Loved both. He's a great actor. This Is Us. Yeah, okay. Been watching you and a few other RVers. Well, oh, that's right. Kathy Bates is in Matlock. That's right. I love Kathy Bates. Yeah. This is my thing. I'm too happy when I'm by myself. Exactly. Yes, I have done a video on Nevada domicile. If you, somebody somewhere. So anyway, yes, I did do a whole video on how to get residency in Nevada. You probably just have to go to my channel and do a search and you'll find it. And somebody somewhere, my dear friend loved that show and turned me on to it. So I did see the whole series. It was really good. I liked it. All right. Oh my goodness. So what else are y'all watching? Hi, Renee Hernandez. Good to see you. Mark Parr. I named my Tahoe after Betty White. That's adorable. Gene Hackman. I know. Sad, right? Did they find out yet what caused? Because the dog died too, right? Did they find out yet what caused it? Introverts unite. They don't know yet what killed him. That is so sad. I love Gene Hackman. You know what? One of my favorite movies of Gene Hackman, remember The Firm? I was thinking about that the other day. Tom Cruise, remember that movie, The Firm? I love Gene Hackman's role in that. Tulsa King Landman Yellowstone. They had been dead over a week. Oh my God. Oh, that's awful. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. Reservation Dogs is really good too. I really like Reservation Dogs. Rebuilding. Just watched an old video and love my introvert explanation. Thank you. Got that from my therapist, probably. A lot of my wisdom comes from my therapist. She's pretty brilliant. Gene Hackman's pacemaker stopped transmitting 10 days before they found him. Wow. Mississippi Burning. Yes, he was also in Mississippi Burning. Yeah. The dog was locked in the closet? Really? Really? Oh, that's fishy as hell. So, am I planning any trips to foreign countries in the future? No place that I can fly as long as I have Sadie. I mean, I kind of looked into flying with Sadie. I know it's becoming a lot easier, but as long as Sadie is with me, I'm not flying anywhere. Like I said, I was looking at Ecuador the other day. I don't know. I don't want to go too far. If I do go anywhere, I would have to drive. And I don't want to go too far while my mom is still here. So I can't really know. Oh, yeah, I'm going to Canada. I'm going to Canada. But I'm going to talk more about that later. I don't really want to talk about that right now. Annette preferred to listen to music or draw. I read like crazy. I consumed books. That was my escape, was reading. The dog was in the kennel. Oh. Wow. This is Sterling Brown. Rebuild your RV when it blows up instead of buying a new one. Oh, yeah. That's really what my goal is. I mean, as long as it's fixable, I'll keep fixing it. I do have to do some maintenance on the roof and the windows again. But right now, I told you guys, when I took it to the mechanic somebody who actually knows transmissions, he said my RV is the mechanical. He said it's in great shape. It sounds good. The motor is strong. The transmission is strong. So I'm thinking at least another 100,000 miles out of it. So I'm good. And even if the wall, I got body damage, I've got water damage. Without a doubt, I've got water damage on all the things that I have crashed into and all the body damage that I've done, but it'll take years for it to fall apart. That's how I look. It's going to take years for my RP to disintegrate around me. And, Melissa, thank you for the super chat. Someday I might learn to type. I think you do okay. I mean, yeah, Terry, like, it's a beautiful rig. I've done so much work to make it comfortable, and I walk in here and I just freaking love it. Yeah, it's beat up. Yeah, it's old. Yeah, I can't even get it clean. I mean, every day I wipe down the cupboards and I'm like, it's I wipe the dust off and everything looks dirty. It's 20 years old. I've been living in it full time for 8 years. So, but I love it. It's comfortable. It's home. It's taken me on some amazing adventures. So. So Cheryl and Ralph, I just read something that I'm sure you heard of. Well, especially Ralph, because I don't know if Cheryl comes to the U.S. very often. That there is going to be some new paperwork that you have to fill out in order to come into the U.S. from Canada, even as a Canadian citizen. So look into that. Yep. Kim Dolly. Aw. Our Blue Eddy winner. Yay. Thank you very much. You are so sweet. Thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate it. And I know I owe you an email. I know you sent me an email and it's been sitting there looking at me. And I'm so thrilled. seeing your reaction to winning and to receiving the prize is just, so rewarding, and just it made my day. I loved how excited you were, and I love that I was able to bring a smile to your face and bring some joy to your life, just, by giving you something. So it's really sweet. So thank you. Oh, I can't remember what the paperwork was. Something about, oh shit, alien registration. I think that's what it was called. I think it was literally called like alien registration. I didn't fact check it, so don't take my word for it, but it looked real. It came from a legitimate source, somebody that I follow, but I didn't, like I said, I didn't do a deep dive, but I think it's called alien registration. So look it up. More butyl tape. I'm gonna need it. This window has to come out, and I have to completely do the butyl thing. Yeah, but I'm gonna need help. I can't take this window out by myself. Thank you. Plenty of butyl tape. Thank you, April. R cubed. Thanks for keeping the light on. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's so sweet of you. Thank you all so much for the super chats. Yay! Nay. All right. I enjoy listening to these chats. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I suggested Mexico start a visa for Americans and charge $200. Serious. It's better than $5 million? You can buy American citizenship now for $5 million. Fuck the hungry, the tired, and the poor. I'm sorry. All right. Love the Mark Parr. Love my shirt, but why do they make extra large with small necks? Mark, that's the patriarchy shirt, right? That's not one of mine from my store. I always cut the necks off. I know it doesn't look that good, but I'm with you. It's like, I always cut the necks off my shirts. Oh, Kim, that's so sweet. That's great. I love that. I made you so happy. Can we expect another live chat in the future? Well, sometime, yeah. At some point. You guys really enjoy these, huh? And I know I don't do them very often. I have to be in the mood. This takes a lot out of me. I'm gonna go sleep for forever after this. This is, I'm an introvert. I live a life alone, and this is like being on stage for 2 hours. It's a lot. So, yeah. America is for sale. Absolutely. Oh, thank you. You like the blue family? Thank you. I'm feeling very chipper today. Let me see if I have any other questions from people at home. Hold on. All right. Do I ever light candles to warm my RV? Because other YouTubers do, and they say it helps. So, couple reasons why I don't light candles anymore is because they are full of essential oils, which are toxic to dogs. Almost all essential oils are toxic to dogs. And I think about that, even if I do like an apple one, and and it's super strong smelling to me in a tiny space. Imagine her sense, her nose is like 1,000 times more sensitive than mine. I don't want to make my dog sick. So I don't do candles anymore. I guess I could do unscented candles, but my friend Christy came and visited me recently, and I did have a candle going because we cooked something and it smelled really bad in here. So I did light a candle, and then with 2 people in here, she sleeps here, so we were making the bed, and I threw something up there and it caught on fire. And luckily she saw it. It was a pair of leggings of hers, and luckily it didn't go up in flames. It just melted. But I am that is the one. I do not want my house to burn down. So what's the sense of lighting a candle if it doesn't smell? But I don't want to burn smelly candles because of Sadie, and I have a furnace. I guess, yeah, I do like candles. I guess I could buy some unscented candles, beeswax or soy. Edie can't. Oh, did Edie set something on fire? Yeah, they can be, yeah, I learned that, yeah, all that stuff can be toxic to dogs. And I think about that. Sometimes I even hug Sadie. Like, she'll be laying down on the bed and I'll go grab her in my arms and my voice is right next to her ear and I'll be like, "Hey, girl." And then I realize I'm yelling in her ear. I mean, I have a very loud voice that projects very well. And, I have a very loud voice. And so I go up next to her, right next to her ear, and I'm like, "Hey, girl, how's my baby?" And I realized to her, I'm screaming in her ear because her ears are a million times better than mine. So if it sounds loud to me, I'm screaming in my poor dog's ears. So I think about these things. I mean, she's a dog living in a human life, and I can't imagine what the smells and the noises and stuff are to her. So I do try to consider her. Oh, Sharon, I'm your Sunday night movie, 1 hour snuggled in bed for an adventure that I wouldn't get on your own. Oh, I love that. Thank you. Thank you. And I'm so glad I get to bring you to all these places. And I am loving doing these hour-long videos and really bringing you into my life and showing you the places that I go, and it allows me to learn because, I love research. I'm a total geek. I love research. So it allows me to research the places that I go and give you the information or just share my life. So I'm really glad that you enjoy them. Yeah, the fear of candles in an RV. I mean, I can't tell you how often I hear about RVs catching on fire, and that is a huge that is a fear of mine. My RV catching on fire. Bye, Betty. Thank you so much for being here. Oh my gosh. Okay, we've been on an hour and a half. All right, let me see if I have more questions. Why don't I put a second chair out for safety? So here's the thing. Every time I share a video, people are like, "Why don't you buy this? Why don't you buy that? Why don't you have this? You could buy this." So I actually measured the other day. I always said I live in 190 square feet. Well, I measured my living space from the cab to the back is 16 by 8. And I don't remember what the math was on that. Let me do it real quick. What's 16 by 8? It was a lot smaller than I thought. 128 square feet. I guess it's a little bit more than that because I do have the storage up there. So anyway, let's say I live in 135 square feet. Yeah, 16, 17. Let's say 140. And yes, I have some storage outside. I live in a tiny, tiny space. Every time somebody says, and remember, you're not the only, "Why don't you buy this? Why don't you buy this? Why don't you buy that?" I don't have room for all of the things you think I should need. With that said, I do have 2 chairs. So that was all to say something completely different. I don't usually have 2 chairs. I just bought a new rocker chair. Yeah, a new chair, something comfortable to sit in. And I don't always put out 2 chairs because, and I've said this in other videos, I've been on the road 9 years and I don't follow hardly any of the safety advice that I gave everybody at first. Well, that I used at first. The first couple years on the road, you're on guard, you're nervous, but after 9 years without incident, other than that one, really the one time on the Highway of Tears in British Columbia, I've never ever had any issues, and I have learned to trust my gut. There was a spot I was in. Gosh, I feel like there was a spot I was in recently. I was like, this just doesn't feel right. I just don't like it here, and I didn't stay. And learning to trust my intuition and trust my gut. And honestly, like this spot that I'm in now, I've been here for a week or so. Cars go by, people see me, out. People know I'm alone. Putting another chair out isn't going to convince anybody that I'm not alone. There are times, though, when I'm feeling a little like, there's too much traffic going by and it's regular traffic. It's not like they're seeing me. It depends on my gut. It really is it all comes down to trusting my gut. So most of the time though, I don't really feel the need to follow the safety things that I did at first. Whew. Ralph says you'd have to make a really good argument to get me to add anything to my RV. I only just bought a portable table after 3 years. Yep. I have a portable roll-up table, and last year I was camping on some private property. A family friend was letting me stay at their property, and I bought a camp stove. A little propane camp stove, and they have a picnic table out there. So I put it on the camp stove, and I was using it, I put the camp stove on it, and I was making my coffee on it every morning, and I brought it with me thinking it'll be really nice. I cook a meal outside, to make coffee outside. I haven't pulled it out once. I haven't used it once. So, and I don't use my fold up table. And partly I stay places 10 to 14 days. The more shit I unpack, the more shit I have to pack up in a few days. So, yeah. Gary, yes, Gary was being sarcastic. Exactly, Gary. That and a trailer. I need to get a 35-foot RV and a trailer just to pull all the shit everybody thinks I need. Aw, $10 and no cents for a sweet treat. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. You know what? I'm going into Vegas in about 10 days. Yeah, I'm going into Vegas. Well, shouldn't have told you that. You don't know where I'd be. Anyway, I have one last doctor's appointment, so I'm going into Vegas, and I found a gluten-free bakery. I have been craving a cinnamon roll, so I'm going to use that to go and buy myself a gluten-free cinnamon roll, because I have been very good. So, yeah, thank you. And thank you. Elise, I've been camping with another woman in my van, but she never went outside. A guy came by after the third day and asked me why I set up for 2 when I was alone. Seriously? A guy asked you that? That is freaking rude. Yeah, none of your damn business. Move on. That's fucked up. Libby, thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Woohoo! Thank you. All right. Cinnamon. I know, a cinnamon roll sounds so good, doesn't it? All right. Now I want a cinnamon roll. I know, they're so good. Yeah, Smooth Skater doesn't put boots outside her door anymore. Yeah. All right. Yeah, the chairs. Yeah, I just don't feel the need to anymore. Unless I feel the need to. And it really is just about going with my gut. Actually, at this camp that I'm at, well, I have 2 chairs now, and one I can't store in my basement. I have to put it on my bed when I drive. It's a big rocking chair. And the other one is just one of those folding bag chairs, and that goes in my basement. So when I pull my solar panels out of my basement, I have to pull it out anyway. So I did set it up. So in the camp I'm in, I've actually had 2 chairs set up. Well, when they stay up, because it's also been very windy. All right. One more question, and my voice is going, and I'm getting tired. Josefina wants to know, what would I do in an emergency if I break down in a remote area? Tammy, do I ever caravan with other ladies? No, I do not. I mean Mexico. With ladies and men. Ladies and Ralph. Who needs me? Oh, you have cinnamon rolls in the fridge? Oh my goodness. No, so, and Aaron, that's right, Sarah and Aaron, Wait a minute. I am thinking that I'm going to make more of an effort this year. How many times have you guys heard me say this? Like 4 years now? I'm going to make more of an effort this year to meet people. But I am thinking I might make more of an effort to meet people and camp with people. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Don, your comment just tempts me to go to the French bakery down the road. Are you in Nevada? Are you where I think you are? Thanks for the super chat, Don. Hey, Edie, we were talking about you. I don't. Okay. What was the question I was going to answer? What would I do if I broke down in the middle of nowhere? So I have a cell phone. And even if I don't have a cell signal, I have a personal GPS locator device, a Spot. I use Spot, which has also roadside assistance. So I could just push a button and they will send a tow truck. I also, and I don't want to hear it, I am going to say this, and I've already talked about it. I've already done soul searching. I have already been through this. Save your judgment. But I also have Starlink. So if I am out in the middle of nowhere and I don't have a cell signal, I can turn on Starlink and I can get the help I need. Easy peasy. And I've always said this before, no matter how far out I am, and I'm usually not as far out as it looks. It's really hard to get really remote in an RV these days. And no matter what, and I don't really even go that far off road anymore, but everybody has a price. That's how I look at it. You're willing to throw enough money at a problem, you're going to be able to solve it. And I have the money to be able to throw at a problem should it happen. I also have credit cards, so I mean, whatever happens, like I said, you throw enough money at it, you're going to be able to solve the problem. That's how I look at it. And I'm not going to worry about worst case scenario until I have to. That's just how I live my life. I prepare for things, but I don't worry that they're going to happen. And I think somebody asked me earlier about being self-sufficient, and if I really learned how strong I am being on the road. No, I already knew that no matter what life threw at me, because I've been through some bad shit, I already knew that no matter what life threw at me, I would be able to handle it. And that's just how I go through life. It doesn't matter. I don't worry about the small things. Whatever life throws at me, I will fucking handle it. So same with if I break down in the middle of nowhere. I've had flat tires out in the middle of nowhere. I've done videos about those things. They've gotten fixed. I got stuck in a ditch one time. I didn't film that. It was really bad. Really bad. Got out of that. I actually had some help. A viewer, I was in Quartzsite heading down toward Yuma, and I was trying to get myself out. I couldn't. I called the tow truck. Tow truck was on the way. A viewer recognized me and stopped and helped me get out. So yeah, there's always a way. There's always a way. Danny from Quebec, been watching you since the beginning. You're such an inspiration. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm glad I have been able to inspire you. And thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. No judgment. When poor cell service a girl has to have. I gotta work. And I said I'm not going to explain myself. I've already talked about it, and I'm still already getting shit about it. But let me see. Can't help but be a resident after being abused. Resilient, I think. Hey, Cindy, just got back from getting a sushi fix. Ooh, that sounds really good. I haven't had sushi in a really long time. The vegan police are going to get me. That does sound really, I mean, you can get vegan sushi. There's actually a place, you know what? I think I'll go there too. There's a place in Vegas you can get vegan sushi, and it's actually very good. I might do that. Ooh, cinnamon toast. That sounds really good. Really, really good. All right. Yeah, maybe I'll do a meetup in the Bay Area. I think I'm going to do a meetup in New York too this year. Anybody in the Tri-Cities area of New York, I think I will do a meetup in New York. I'm going to be there a while. Why not? I did one in Syracuse a few years ago. I will do one, I think maybe Binghamton this year. Anybody around Binghamton? Oh, thank you. Joleva? Joleva? Is that Holeva? How do you say your name? All right. Thank you all so much for spending time with me. And I knew what you meant, Sherry. I was just teasing you. But I guess that's still, I meant, okay. I still don't understand. All right. You are very welcome for answering your questions. Thank you. Wow, there's a lot of names here. Savite. The Finger Lakes are gorgeous. All right. All right. Thank you all so much for spending time with me tonight. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you very, very much for the super chats. And thank you to the moderators. We had Melissa here. We had Edie show up. We had Ralph here. We had Richard here. Richard, I hope you feel better. And anybody else? Thank you all so very much for spending part of your Sunday. You guys going to watch the Oscars? Does anybody watch the Oscars? There you are. I hope you feel better. I've been worried about you. Good to see you, Mark and Lori and Freedom. Yes, thank you, Edie. Yeah, I don't do Oscars either. Oscar the Grouch. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you. I hope I answered some questions, gave you some food for thought, helped you, entertained you, whatever. Just gave you something to do on a Sunday night. And I will see you all soon. Thank you. I appreciate everything you do to support me, to support my work. It means a lot to me to know that the work that I do here on YouTube matters and that it means something to you, that I inspire you, educate you, inform you, make you laugh, make you think. That would be awesome too. All right. I'll see you next time. Thanks for everything. And in the meantime, be happy, be free, and be kind. Mwah. Good night. All right. How do you turn this thing off? Oh, look at that. I don't know how to turn it off. We're stuck together forever.